Okay.
Okay. 6:04. Thank you for coming to the Fraser Park Water Public Utility District Water Meeting for Thursday, November 14th, 2019 at 6:04. We'll stand and do the pledge.
Ready? Begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call of directors. Director Nyman.
Here.
Director Garcia.
Here.
Director Gibson is absent, and Director Schonberg is out and will be here later. Director Kelly is here. So we got 3 of 5. Any public comments?
What about discussion and vote to adjust the agenda?
Oh, do we want to adjust the agenda any?
Well,
I have nothing.
we're gonna, possibly, if we have time in between the initiatives and stuff, we could bump my manager's report up ahead of the closed session, but only if we have time before our,
20.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
Duly noted.
Yeah, any comments from the public?
We'll wait for a little bit.
Okay, thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Okay, report of officers?
Just so you know, if you have any comments about anything, if it's not on the agenda, we can't comment on it,
Okay.
so, just so you know.
I brought
Do
it
do
up.
you have a copy of the agenda?
No, I don't.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
The president, I have no report. Vice president is absent. Secretary is not here yet. Treasurer, do you have any report? I know, got here too fast. You didn't have time to think, sorry.
I don't know.
Well, that's honest answer. Oh, those are your shirts, Sherry.
Thank you.
At this point, I don't have a report.
Okay. Member at large?
Negative.
Okay. Board member initiatives, is there anything that nothing, okay. Let's do the manager's report, so then we can.
Okay, we
closed
had,
session.
for the second month in a row, we had 0 after-hours call-outs. Part of that is due to the upgrades we made on the telemetry, so that was good. We only had 1 mainline leak last month. We had a break-in at Monte Vista well. I mean, it's a dilapidated, fallen down building anyway, but they pried the hasp off, and worse still, they cut the tabs off the lock boxes for the electrical panels and straight wired an electrical cord, and you could tell they obviously didn't know what they were doing. And the guys found it wound up, but straight wired into our panel. So I went down in the creek where I figured they were, and there's a couple of big culvert pipes down there, and there was a sleeping bag, and you could tell somebody had been sleeping down there, and the end that they cut off to straight wire the cord was there by the pipe, so I know that's where they had done it. So they've been running an extension cord to run whatever they have down there. So next week I have we secured the building as good as we can, but next week I have Lamont Fence Company coming in, because there's no fence around it. There used to be a wood wall that fell down. Now we're gonna have to put like an 8-foot chain link fence with razor wire on the top, because somebody's gonna kill themselves trying to do that stuff over there. The panels were hurt because they were cut off, but we just used like gate hasps to screw them shut, so it's harder for them to get in there for now.
Right.
We're also I'm gonna buy a bunch of plywood, and we're gonna reskin that building and do something with the roof to make it to where you could actually secure it better, because the wood's so old and rotten, they just pull the hasp right off it. So that's one thing. The next thing is JPIA came and did their annual visit to go over, all my emergency operations plans, all the insurances that we have, the training that we are all supposed to take, the site readiness, make sure everything's safe and clean and everything. And we did awesome again this year. He had no recommendations or suggestions for anything. Everything's up to par, so.
Major kudos on that one.
So that was really nice. I like that. The truck that was in the shop is done. We picked it up. The one that had the repairs to be done on it. JPIA, since it was 2 fender benders, the front bumper was less than our deductible, so they won't pay on that. The rear bumper was more like $1,000. Our deductible was $500. So we pay it, and then I sent the receipts to JPIA. They'll cut us a check and reimburse us for anything over the $500. So that's all squared away now too. See if there's anything else since we still have a few minutes.
So does that mean that we're paying for the front bumper?
Yeah, we had to pay for the front bumper, yeah. And I kind of thought about just paying for the whole thing, so we don't have another claim against us. But we do have, like in his words today, we have very few claims against us, and injuries, and knock on wood, workman's comp injuries, and stuff like that is so low.
Non-existent, yeah.
Yeah, so it doesn't really kill us too bad. The only thing we've had is the water that ran through that guy's yard and a couple of minor things like that. But and I guess that's all I got. We can give it another 5 minutes.
What about 8?
8?
7, 8?
Of the
Oh, yeah.
generators.
7, 8. Okay, you guys want me to get quotes on the generators for one outside of here with us doing the trenching and the tying and everything and setting up a propane tank and all that stuff. It saves us money. Remember our quote was like almost $50,000 from P&J. This one is $7,389.61 with an automatic transfer switch, a Generac generator to set up here so the office will have constant power. So I would recommend we approve that. It's
How much was that?
$7,389.61. I don't know why it was so much more through P&J,
Yeah.
but they tend to overkill things sometimes.
I have, okay, go ahead.
Would this be a good time to do some masonry and concrete work, so it's got a pad to sit on instead of...
Absolutely, it would be a great time because the most viable place, in my opinion, is right there on the street, on that side of the office, because that's where the electrical panel is. That's where the tying is.
We could
But
build
we're
like
gonna
a
have to-
little equipment enclosure,
Yeah.
a gate on it or something.
Yeah, we got to have the pad. We got to have the block. We got to have a way to enclose it with a cage on top so nobody steals it.
Right.
So,
Yeah. 'cause
I
we-
guess you'll have to do these two in 2 votes, but this one, obviously, I'd recommend that you approve.
What size generator?
16 kW. And he came out and he spec'd it out to run the whole office. And that's with permits, everything that we would need for I'll back up just a little bit.
Yeah, fill this in.
The generator that you wanted me to get quoted for the office, remember P&J was very expensive, almost 50 grand or something. This guy that Harry at Ace recommended, RLS Electric, the quote is $7,389.61. That's with an electronic transfer switch and everything. The only difference is that, like Jerry was saying, we would have to build the pad to put it on and do whatever kind of trenching to tie it in and set up the propane tank and stuff like that. I want to go propane because in case of an emergency, if the gas line breaks, because normally you do natural gas, but propane, the bottle's going to have a lot better chance of surviving than the old pipes in the street. So
Short run, all that.
yeah, it's only going to be running for whatever we can get a big enough bottle to last for a little while. So
I have a question on the generator.
yeah,
Just because of this PG&E shutting everybody off, I've heard, and I don't know, because I don't have a generator, but, or one
We're
that's
not
tied in.
PG&E here, we're electricity.
No, but we're not. I heard the
What?
ones that are completely, the ones that are tied in on a permanent, like we're talking about, something that we would just kind of go out and we'd switch and it would automatically kick in.
well, we don't even have to, it does automatic, but yeah.
The automatic thing.
Yeah.
I heard that then PG&E, in order to get the actual electricity back on, now this is from PG&E customers, I don't know about Edison, but that then they have to come back out and actually switch it back over so that it can run back on
No,
their
that's,
electric.
yeah,
So-
no, that's not true. That's, well, part of it is the automatic transfer switch, and even if you had the manual transfer switch, when you know the power comes on, you go out there, you flip one switch that turns off the generator, and you flip another switch that turns the power on again. Because when they turn on the power, the only stop they could possibly do is if they came out and they flipped your switch in your meter box. So,
Okay, well, that's what I was,
so no, that's a, and we have 18 or
well, I know we have Edison, cause I have Edison too, but I was saying.
yeah,
that
no, that's
somebody that I know this has PG&E and they have all, one of those automatic things, and they said that somebody had to come out from PG&E and actually turn it, switch it for them, and I'm like, that
I
didn't
don't
make
believe
sense
that's
to me.
true at all because Ace has their backup generator and you know other people up here have backup, and it's never been an issue like that.
So I'm sorry, I didn't follow, so the 3 quotes?
I didn't say 3 quotes. I got 1 quote. We got a quote several months back from P&J that was almost $50,000. This is the second quote, but for a separate thing. This is for the office.
Okay, this is for the one we take over to the, okay.
Yeah, but and I'll talk to that. You want to vote on this one, or do you
And
want me
vo-
to
and
cover
then
both
what's
of them
the-
first?
The,
So I'm saying, do
we're
you want me
not-
to
we're
cover
not-
both generators right now, or do you want to do them one at a time? It don't matter to me. You want me to cover the second generator too right now? Because we have to run everybody out in a minute, and then.
I walked in the middle of it, so.
Yeah,
I don't know.
let's postpone it, because we're too close on that phone call.
Okay, so we'll just do the closed session, and then we will go back to that because it's
Okay.
good stuff anyway. So
You should probably explain since somebody just.
we're gonna do a closed session. She'll announce it, but we're gonna do a closed session.
Oh.
Two items. So if you guys can just go out to your car and sit in your car, we'll cover the legal stuff that's closed session,
Okay.
and then we'll invite you back in for all the regular business.
Okay.
Sounds good.
So it shouldn't take very long.
Okay.
Take all the time you need.
Thank you.
No, don't.
Okay. Okay. Prior to closed session, government code, 54957.7A, a representative of a legal of a legislative body to orally announce the item to be discussed in closed session prior to the closed session meeting. Conference with legal counsel, anticipated litigation, government code 54956.9B, 2 items. Closed session pursuant to government code 54957 at 6:19.
Is that good?
Yeah, that's fine.
Thank you.
Here, 32,720 for a 36 kW.
But that was a towable.
Yeah, but so you would just take the trailer cost
Oh.
off of
So
that,
32,720 minus 1,500.
roughly. I mean, I don't know what they
30,000.
charge for the skid. You know, I mean, I didn't get that.
That
quote.
comes with it. That should come with it, doesn't it?
I would think, but and then we got then it would be. I have to re-quote this if that's the avenue you want to take, because it's got to be propane instead of diesel, or it should be propane instead of diesel, or it could be diesel still, but then we have to get a fuel truck up there. Propane's a lot easier to get up there, so we have to
Yeah.
re-quote this. So you could either proceed with voting yes or no on the towable, or if you like the idea of slowly over time putting stationary ones, then I'll get re-quotes.
Lisa,
I'd like to move that we hold off on a second towable. We have one towable, and we look into quotes for individual sites, stationary generators at individual sites for the boosters.
I'll second that.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And now the thing I like about that is now, since it's not a towable, which Yale Chase is where we got the first one, now I could get this electrician, RLS
To do
Electric,
those quotes.
to quote the skid mounted ones, and possibly it'll be far cheaper, and maybe we could do two
That would be
the
awesome.
first time, so I'll have that information by the next
One, I
regular
guess the
meeting.
question on that is the size, depending upon the booster or what it's required, is it possible that it's a cheaper generator that you could put in there?
No, they spec'd it out for the power demand.
For the
And the big thing is, remember that the big one is so big that if we run around and we're powering boosters, it does the wet stacking and causes additional costly maintenance on it because it doesn't burn off the fuel. It doesn't have to work at all for a booster. The way we resolved having to pay to have that service done is we run 2 wells in the yard, 4 and 6 every time we start it every month, and that barely gets it up to 30% of its capacity, which is what's recommended to burn off all the extra fuel. It's got to run harder to work right. These, I would still have this guy spec it again, this electrician spec it, but Yale Chase says that the 36 kW is low EUD, but RLS can spec it himself and find
Yeah.
out.
Okay.
So by the next regular meeting,
And
hopefully
then
I'll have the quotes for you.
you're talking about
Okay.
hardwiring them in.
Yeah, hard wiring that can't be removed, can't be towed around.
Then you'd also have to talk about caging those in too.
Oh, absolutely, everything we have to cage in or the.
Well, we
these-
definitely would have to put up fencing and.
Or just,
wire.
you know, a lot of, like, say the backflow devices, you guys, some of you probably don't know what that is, but they're little devices that people like to steal because they're brass and they have a shut-off valve on both sides. You have to install a cage that you pour concrete, you have a cage that's got a lock and it flips back, makes it much harder to steal. And the only reason I ain't too concerned is T-Mobile, after I forced them to put it in, probably 3 years ago, put in their their stationary generator at the tank up there at Wolf that has people up there all the time and nobody's stolen theirs yet. So, because it's enclosed and you could build a pretty strong enclosure that would require power saws and stuff to get into it and if it was stolen, then insurance would have to reimburse.
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
but we know.
So, okay, I'll get the quote to you. And that's all I got.
Thanks, Johnny.
But insurance also wants you to kind of protect it. I mean, they
No,
don't want
I-
you to sit it out in the street.
What I said is, we build the enclosure as good as we can, and then if something does happen, we can't do any more than what we can, so.
Yes,
If I could suggest, if you have a little time, Johnny, to call Austin. He did a little research, not specifically on this, but on fixed versus portable. And he was surprised at the amount of code requirements are much stricter on the fixed ones than they are on the portable ones.
It is, but the code requirements and all that, like this guy, he specs out that it's all the permits included and all that work included to make it legal. The issue with the portable ones is, again, we have multiple booster sites that all gotta be running at the same time. We can't obviously get one trailer to all the sites at one
Yeah,
time to run it.
it's-
Because it's not feasible to run, so we need stationary no matter what. It's already a pain. I already have to file quarterly reports on the one we got.
I just bring it up because Austin told, I'm sorry to
No.
take the time, is that at Pinyon Pines, they actually wanted to have a fixed one. And they found that it was actually to their advantage to get a portable, take the wheels off of it, and have it function as a fixed one, but be classified for,
Well, I'd check into it. I know Mil Potrero has been effectively using multiple stationaries and Ace Hardware, but I'll definitely talk to him. I see him all the time, so
good.
I'll see what his opinion is.
I wasn't trying to butt in.
Oh, no, I totally
Yeah,
get
it
it.
is.
No, that's good to
Mel
think about.
Pacharo was quite surprised at our other meeting, like, that none of the other water companies had
Yeah.
fixed generators at their sites.
Well, you know, we always count on
Especially us.
the power outage being so short that you don't need it. But the fact is now, JPIA told me today that some of his districts in PG&E were out of power for 2 days.
Days,
Well, that was.
One county was out for 4 days.
Okay, can we move on?
Okay, ad hoc, committee report. I went to the last community water, and the guy from Holmes Capital came, and they're doing a thing called design and build. And they, offer low interest rates, loans to, companies, water companies, little companies, to do their projects. And you're looking at me like, huh? and instead of doing a state thing, going through the state or the federal, is, they sent me some information I can pass
For
on.
what kind of projects? Any kind of
Water,
project?
main lines, wells, tanks, I mean,
At what interest rate?
between 3 and 5. And the thing with them is that they,
At how many do they have different year? Like at how many years? Do they have different plans?
30 to 50 years. And they come out with their engineers. They help you design and build and acquire all your permits, and they help in the whole process from beginning to end. And but then you're working with a set, just them, and you don't have to, and then, so it's kind of faster than trying to go.
Right, but it's
Waiting,
loan
waiting.
only.
But it's loan only, you don't
Loan
get
only.
grants, so,
Well,
okay. Good
okay.
information.
Can you does Johnny have a copy, or can we keep a copy of that on file here somewhere?
I can send him the email if we don't get in trouble. Anyway, that's what the water meeting thing was about. Sigma, I don't think I've heard anything about that. And depreciation of assets.
We haven't
done
gotten
anything.
to.
Okay. Financial,
But we did. Wasn't there some other ad hoc of it? Didn't we have another? No, the phone call we reported on last time.
No, we just did the PER thing.
Yeah. So do we need to report on that, or did we report on that already?
I don't remember.
Me either.
Oh, it's
Did
not on
did
there.
we report on the PER information that
You
we
did
Tonight?
no, the last meeting.
the last meeting?
Oh, yeah, the
Yeah.
last meeting we
You
did.
did.
Because
Yeah,
haven't
we
had
had,
any ad hoc since the last one.
Okay.
we just haven't gotten the updated copy yet.
Okay. Oh, that's right.
Again,
all
we're still
updated.
waiting again.
Okay.
Damn.
I'm sorry I'm irritated about that.
Relax. Okay.
Accounts payable, Linda?
Okay,
Just
the
keeps being the next
balances in
meeting
our,
and the next
all of our
meeting.
accounts as of October 31, 2019, $1,603,451.07. The revenue account balance as of 10/31/2019 was $96,626.57. Our total check run for this period is $36,084.92. After those checks clear, our balance as of today in the operating account is $89,981.03.
After those checks clear.
After those checks clear, correct.
Okay, quick question, the 96,000 is because we paid out, in October, the, extra loan amounts?
We paid out principal and interest payments in
Right,
October.
so
Yeah,
normally it's higher than that, but it's because we paid out some
We
things.
paid $105,000
100.
plus our normal checks on top of that.
Okay, so,
Right.
and we didn't have to borrow anything
We
this
did not
time,
have to
and we
borrow.
still have $96,000 left.
That's correct.
That's
So
pretty
that
awesome,
is
okay.
this is for a year now, we have not had to borrow.
Okay.
Because we didn't have to borrow for our, interest payments in April. So that's.
But this was principal and interest, and in
Which
the
is-
past, we had to
we've
borrow
always
when
had
we
to
had
borrow,
principal
right.
and interest,
So this
because
is
we
the
didn't
first
have
year
enough
we
money
haven't
in the
had to.
operating fund.
So
Yeah.
that's good. Also, I don't know if you recall the issue with the FUTA tax issue. Remember we
Oh,
talked
yeah.
about that with the IRS. They got our letter. We received a letter dated October 28th saying that we needed to pay this $3,000. Then we got a letter dated October 29th, a day later, saying they're still reviewing it. So I am, my thinking is to send them that letter again with a copy attached to the latest, I'm sorry, I guess I did turn off my phone. With the latest notice, and then just a copy of that, because we should not be paying, we do not have to pay that because of the state. Everything's taken care of through the state program, which is mandatory, and I gave them that state regulation on that, so, you know, I'm thinking if we pay that money,
We'll never get it
we'll
back.
never get it back. So
No.
my thinking, and I talked to Johnny about this too, and so I just wanted to get approval from the board. Let me
I would-
send a letter again, and just to reiterate what we already did,
Yeah, I would do that.
okay?
Is everyone okay with that?
And
Yes.
then, the auditors are working on the returns. They have sent us requests for additional information. Johnny has given them additional information. I've given them additional information. They've also have some things that they want us to have ready for the meeting that we have with them on the 21st, and, which is at 8:30.
It's not a meeting with you guys, it's their field work where they come out and they look at, you know, different invoices, and it's in preparation, so they always come out here before they finish the audit and then do final checks.
They do that every year.
Yeah, it's just
So,
standard.
I've got my part ready, and Johnny's working on his part. So, we'll have that meeting on Thursday, the 21st.
Okay, I have a couple questions.
I do too, but go ahead.
Okay, the well 5 replacement, D Jasper, it doesn't say what specifically this is for.
We need to look at the invoice, cause I think
The invoice is there.
it's probably for the PER, didn't you?
It's the PER.
Didn't you?
It is.
How much
PER?
is it for?
It doesn't seem like the
How
PER,
much is it for?
689.23.
It's for work, yeah, there's an invoice in there.
That's probably work towards the PER that.
Yeah, it's for well 5,
Implements.
PER. They used the update that they haven't sent us yet.
Okay, so that was one question. Another question is, on Ferguson, you have this weird, on the payable of the check, you have this number, 425442, is that
Oh,
correct?
that's remember, we have two account numbers with them. So I'm letting them know it goes to that account number.
But are they able to cash it like that?
Yeah, yeah, that's it, it's been like that for a long
I
time,
don't recall it ever looking like that.
yeah.
Okay. And I didn't get to the other stuff, so go ahead and with your questions.
I was looking at the accounts and I found an account that's not on our balance sheet. And it's, this one says Fraser Park Public Utility District, FPPUD, Lake of the Woods Planning Fund, and it's a zero balance. The last four is 4816. And, I mean, we have the other one that's on here, cause I have that statement said is for, the last four is
And it should
3826.
be- I'll look and see I'll see, maybe there's a code I need to put in so it shows up on here.
Yeah, because it's not showing up on our list here.
That's interesting, cause it does show up.
And I don't
on the
know what that
agenda
one's
after.
for, why would we have two accounts for the same
One
one?
is for the one is for the payment plan. Remember, we set this up, so when we start getting money on the payment,
Oh, to receive
grant.
money?
yeah, the money goes in there and then we would.
Say that again, which account is it?
It's the planning account that we opened up for when we start getting the planning grant money.
Oh yeah, that has to be a separate
Okay,
account.
so give her that so she can look it up to get it on the balance sheet, because it's not showing on our balance sheet. And, I have another question, cause obviously I have to go probably back to the bank. I had talked to Sherry, on the 16th of October about this, $240. And I don't see a credit on the general fund account. And then the other thing I also see is there's another $30 analysis service fee. What is that? Do we know what that is?
It's the same as before. I'm thinking it has to do with the auditors, but we got charged the $240. So I'm not sure. And, yeah, I saw that too, and
So, I mean, it's something we need to talk
Well,
to the auditors about, because every time we did this one time.
Yeah, but it's
because-
off of one account. It's
Right.
not correct. And I talked to her before and she said she was gonna reverse it. And once again, I have to go back to California Bank and Trust. They don't do what they say they're gonna do, and I have to keep hounding them. It's very irritating.
Jasper, the same way. Okay. Anything else, Linda?
I'm
I,
sorry, it's just that I keep doing work with them, I keep going back to them, and we have so many accounts with them, I just feel like they don't give us any good service at all. I would like to go to another bank, but that's for another discussion, for another time.
I have another question, same kind of thing as your numbers that were after Ferguson that I thought I've never seen before. There's also a V after Lebec County Water District now that I don't recall ever seeing before either.
What are we paying Lebec County for, water district for?
oh, that's just
That's
reimbursing
For
for
the mileage,
Cause
for
they're sharing.
they're sharing
Oh,
the
okay.
cost of mileage
It's
going up to
because
the,
we've also, at one
conference.
point, we received money from them. So this is to separate it as, they can still cash the check and deposit the check. This is just separating it from the amount of monies we've received, because we received a reimbursement from them before. So this is just saying this is as a vendor and cutting them a check.
Because I mean, don't you usually put that in the memo section? I was just curious why all of a sudden it's in the
Because when
section.
I set with QuickBooks, you can't have a company be both a vendor and a customer. So if you've ever received money, you have from somebody, you count it as a customer. If you're paying money out, you put them as a vendor. To separate it, because they're the same name, I had to put a V to make it show as a vendor.
Okay.
Now I can change it and I can.
Yeah,
change-
it's just odd. I just didn't
Yeah.
understand it. If it's cashable, I guess I won't worry about it.
Do I hear a motion to pay our bills?
We'll find out if it's not cashable, right?
I'm waiting for
Okay.
her to get done.
Okay.
they'll cash any check as long as nobody disputes it.
Okay, well, I didn't get, you were able to go through I didn't have time because I wasn't here, and Becky usually looks at stuff. Did you go through the credit card stuff
Yes.
pretty thoroughly?
Yes.
Okay, then I'm fine.
Roma always does that thoroughly.
I make a motion that we pay our bills.
I'll
Okay.
second that motion.
All in favor?
I,
401. Do we wanna take a recess?
no.
Okay, unfinished business. Discussion and vote on well 5 emergency replacement project. Discussion and vote on the project PER.
Okay, on A, I know that there's been a lot of people disgruntled with D. Jasper, but it's misplaced once again. It was on Dave Warner. Dave Warner went on his trip. Dave was gonna get us the bond estimate for the project. Dave just got that to Curtis. Curtis has got the rest of it done. It'll be here for the next meeting, but he was waiting for that bond estimate from Dave
Well,
Warner.
I want it to be here before the next meeting, so I have time, we have
Read
time
it.
to read it and review and see what changes he made. Because I don't wanna wait till
Okay,
the,
just so you guys know,
Yeah,
every
look after
every
that.
single time I question these guys and get on them, I include you two in the emails. And every time you get an email that says what's going on, you can always feel free to just chime in and say whatever it is that's irritating you, and they'll respond to you.
Well,
Because I keep passing it on, I keep telling them, and I'm getting into a position where I feel like I'm harassing them continually. And if a board member chimes in, it might carry a little more weight if you have issues with it.
It's
I will
not the
certainly ask them.
harassment, it's just really important that we get things like
Oh, I
a
know.
PER that are a very complicated, large document before the meeting, because there is no way that we can go over that
and
document
we're like
in the
a
middle
month
of a meeting.
over what we said we were gonna be done.
And we've-
Why we tried to approve it, and 2 weeks ago, I gave him the changes.
Okay, all I'm saying is that
And
you
we've made
you get
time to come in
irritated,
here
you
and
get
make
irritated every
changes.
time, and
Well, it's because,
and I'm
because
trying
it's
my
'cause I know
best.
you're trying your best.
But I'm
Ronnie.
not doing it, and I'm
No.
the one that feels the heat for not having it.
All right,
But
I
I'm
will
doing
send
everything
it, I
can,
will send
is what I'm
an
saying.
email to Curtis.
So,
I will send an email
I
to
think
Curtis.
I think that's
because-
great. He's a
because
nice
I'm-
guy. He'll respond to you.
Cause the reality is that we can't get in the funding until we get the PER. We can't even put in the application, and we keep pushing it back. Every 2 weeks, it's the next meeting, and it's the next meeting, and it's the next meeting,
I
so.
totally get it. I agree. Nothing would please me more than to get that in here so you guys don't get irritated. But just send the email and it'll help.
Will you?
I
be
will
willing
send,
to
I
do
I
that?
will send
Because
him an
I'm
email.
a little crazy right now with things to do.
I will
That's why I
send
try
him-
to include you guys in every email.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but the
just-
thing that I had, that's why I let them go for a week. I should have sent an email. I had talked to Tiffany when I was in here working on something else, and she sent an email to him, like, where's an update on the changes?
Okay, again, like I said, that email was not sent to Curtis. It was only sent to Dee. They've been sitting back waiting for us or Dave Warner to supply.
But see, why didn't Dee follow up? Because Dee's the one who took all the information in the last meeting
Because,
for the update.
like I'm saying, because they've been waiting for us to provide the bond estimate. So it fell back on us and Dave Warner, because Dave Warner is not part of D. Jasper and Associates. It's up to us to make sure that Dave produces what he's supposed to produce. And if he's gone to wherever the heck he went and he's not producing it, that falls back on us and not on D. Jasper and Associates. So it's kind of like a big thing that all works together. So all we have to do is just email them and tell them your frustration. I would like you to have it here on whatever day.
But do we have a bond estimate now?
Yeah, Dave just produced that.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. He gave it to them. Now they can proceed with what they were supposed to do.
Yeah, that's.
Okay, I'm not gonna beat a dead horse. I'm just gonna leave that alone right
Okay, discussion
Thank
on
you.
IRWIP,
now. I will send an email.
contract with D. Jasper.
Okay, we can table B and C, 11A, 11B, 12A, 12B. There's nothing in the folder here saying that we have anything to sign. All that stuff was added just in case something came up and we needed to address it, so. We could go all the way down to, number 13.
The only thing I'll say on 12,
Okay, can we need to make a motion first to table 11? So
Well,
whatever we're
then
tabling.
we gotta table 10A, or 10B and 10C first, before we table 11.
I'm sorry, 10, on USDA contract. Okay, so I move to table the following to the the planning meeting, which happens
Next
on
week.
One
next
week.
week. So that would be 10B, 10C. I mean, we still are gonna carry over 10A, but 10B and 10C would be tabled until then. 11A and B, and then I'm not gonna table 12 because you have something on 12.
well, I just wanted to make a comment on 12. Just saying that we did get the revised figures.
You can't do that
Okay.
yet. So it's out of
Take
order.
back.
So
I take back.
okay, but is that on A or on B?
That's on B.
Okay, so 10 B, C, 11 A, B, 12 A tabled to our next meeting.
Next week.
Next
I second
week.
that motion.
All in favor?
Aye. Okay, and then we can carry
401, motion carried.
So,
Now
so,
12,
12B.
12B.
Cassandra, we need to make sure that 10, 11, and 12 are on the next agenda.
It was gonna be
They
anyway.
should be, but
Yeah,
Normally, that's where it all is. We
Right.
just bumped it
which
up
will
for
be
this
done
week.
on Monday.
But the agenda will be, yeah.
Yeah, because
we
It's
Well,
always done on Monday,
I
yeah.
know, but I'm saying because our meeting is next week.
Tiffany's never once dropped the ball on that.
Okay.
She's got that handled.
So the only thing I wanted to say on 12, discussion vote on meter replacement, discussion vote on revised PER. D. Jasper did send revised figures for the PER, and I'm sure they'll be updating us next week, but we did get those updated figures for that, so that we can maybe put in that application,
Yeah.
so.
Is that in this, in the folder?
No, that's why it's gonna be, we're gonna handle it
Well-
next week. There's nothing to handle. He just wanted
it
to
came
give
as
you
an
update.
email.
Oh,
It came as an email, so that I
okay.
just
Well,
wanted to
then we
update.
then we didn't get them, you got them.
Correct.
Right, but the water
The ad
company
hoc
got
got
them.
them.
The ad hoc got them. So I was just
'Cause
updating. you.
sometimes I don't feel like I'm part of anything.
Would you like to be part of stuff? Cause I can start sending you emails. No problem. I have plenty to share.
Okay, discussion on the main line extension on Kiwanis.
Okay. The only update is they went ahead and dug down there, determined that they cannot find a 6-inch pipe, even though there's a T going down Kiwanis. So now the ball is in the builder's contractor's court, and we could table this basically until they get us all the stuff that's required for a mainline extension policy, and then we will put it back on at that time.
Do I hear a motion to table?
We don't have to motion, do you? Just table it.
Pretty good. I move to table 13 and carry that over to the next regular meeting.
I
No,
second
they're
it.
just
No.
take it off until the guy provides something to act on. That's what I'm saying. We just take it off now. We have no further updates unless the contractor comes to us with
Okay,
the
so
plan.
I'm going to move that we table 13 indefinitely until we have further information.
Exactly.
Do I have a second?
I'll second that.
Motion, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? 401. Okay,
Should you-
new business. Begin discussion and vote on rotating board positions. Discussion and vote on officer duties. Did anyone look at those?
I didn't.
I mean, I've been here for a long time, but we're not voting on the, we are voting on the duty, we are voting on the
You-
duties. Okay, let me look at this again. Or can we just read this out loud and see if there's anything that anybody has to add? That's probably the better way to do
Probably be a
it.
good idea just to knock it out.
You
Fraser
guys
Park
okay with
Public-
that?
Fraser
Yes, go
Park
ahead.
Public Utility District duties of board officers. The president to preside, chair at all board director meetings. Call the meeting to order. Ensure public comments are limited to 5 minutes. Keep the meeting moving through the items on the agenda. State motions, tally, and announce the results of the vote. Announce if meeting extension is needed. Adjourn the meeting. He or she will have the authority to call special and emergency meetings as necessary. Sign documents as needed as the authorized representative of the district. Sign checks as needed. Vice President, to assume the duties of the President in his or her absence. Sign checks if needed. Secretary.
Hang on just 1 second. I reckon since you're gonna vote on this, you should change that to there. Now to meet the new standard of gender
Oh, his or her.
definition.
Really, they changed the English language to.
I'm just saying that
use
nowadays you can't,
There-
now if you designate somebody a him or her, typically they're going gender neutral now, and any,
But there is not correct in the English
okay, well,
language.
I'm saying whatever you would like.
THEIR is,
No, not, it's a
Not in
illogical
this instance.
statement in English. I
Okay,
take
well,
it.
however else you would phrase it, to not be gender specific,
Oh my
might
God.
be a
There's
good
a-
idea.
There's a debate going on in that there's an English thing and there's a political
How about
thing.
assume the duties of the president if absent?
There you go, perfect.
So that can get changed on the.
Assume,
The duties of the
Duties
president.
the president
If absent.
absent.
will you make a note of that, Cassandra?
She's got it on the tape.
Oh, okay.
Tiffany will make notes.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, I just wanna make sure she gets it.
Secretary, sign and attest to all meeting minutes. To sign and attest to district and board documents as needed. 3, sign checks as needed. Treasurer, review district financial documents monthly to ensure accuracy. Review invoices and checks monthly for accuracy. Take check payments to the post office after each meeting for mailing. Serve the district representative administrator for branch and online banking needs. Transfer funds between district accounts as needed. Set up automatic transfers for USDA loan replacement and reserve requirements. Sign checks as needed. Member at large.
Before we move on, I think the president, or we can decide who does this, but we need someone who takes the checks to the post office in the absence of the treasurer. And it needs to be a written policy. So if for some reason the treasurer's not here, who actually takes these and makes sure that they're mailed? Because you have to mail them immediately after the, and it doesn't say that either, it needs to say, oh, it does say after each meeting. It's supposed to say immediately after each meeting.
Do we have a policy on that?
Yes, we do.
Okay.
But we don't have a policy on who takes it in the absence of the treasurer.
So who wants to take it in absence of the treasurer?
I guess the president should. I don't know.
The president or the vice president, I think you could, because I mean, you don't know if someone's gonna be absent. I mean,
Yeah, that's true. You can just say-
So why don't we put it under both, so under president and number 5, that says, take check payments to the post office immediately, and I think we should add immediately on the treasurer, on all of them. To take check payments to the post office immediately after each meeting for mailing in the absence of the treasurer. And then, so that could be under president, and then under vice president, it could say, well, it's already assumed the duties of the president, so that's fine. So we wouldn't need it under vice president, because it would do whatever the president does.
Perfect.
Okay. And then, okay, member at large. Lead the flag salute at all district meetings. And who does that if member at large is not here.
Somebody else.
Somebody else that we should say.
Can't you just refer to it as another board member? You don't even have
Doesn't
to
need to
specify
be,
who.
yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be a member at large.
For that matter, anybody can lead us in this pledge, right?
George Clooney.
We just start.
Well, I
Why don't
guess,
you just put it under president if the member at large isn't here, and then the vice president would still be responsible as well.
okay,
So in the absence of the member at large.
member at large, 2, assist other positions as needed. Sign checks as needed.
Okay.
Lisa,
So I move that we adopt the Fraser Park Public Utility District duties of board officers as amended this evening, with the possibility of other amendments should our clerk of the board realize that there was something that we missed.
Oh,
I'll second that motion.
all in favor?
Aye.
thank
Aye.
you. Aye.
Motion carried, 401. Okay. Discussion and a vote on amending the district's late fee
Well,
policy.
Okay, wait, we didn't
Wait.
cover the rotating board
Yeah.
positions.
That was just part of it.
Oh, rotating, okay.
Whereas
Everybody's gotta rotate, I
First one.
believe, next month.
discussion vote on
Yeah,
officer
'cause
duties.
in
Okay,
January
so
we gotta start our new
Um,
position.
okay, so the way it works is that I mean, we're missing one board member, but we could certainly assign the other positions. Or at least discuss it and actually go forward with it next month, because it actually is supposed to be voted on in December.
Because this is
Right.
what, my second year as treasurer.
Yes,
So I
We all
can't
have
be
to.
treasurer.
yes.
Yeah, this is my second.
I'm 2 years and that's, I can't be this,
Yeah.
we all, we
So
we
we
all,
have-
we all have to rotate.
We all have to rotate.
We've all done this 2 years.
Yeah, that's what I was told.
So, usually you start with,
So just kind of move chairs this way.
you start with the,
I
president,
could be a large member.
and generally go around. I
Sorry.
think maybe rather than vote on it tonight, we should just discuss who's willing, and then we can do the vote, rather than do the whole formal thing, since we don't have one of the directors.
Okay. I'll jump into the secretary position.
Okay.
And, I mean, we could, I mean, I don't know who wants to take over treasurer.
The treasurer and the president.
I would
do
maybe
too.
recommend Becky. Has she done treasurer?
I think she's hesitant to do it, but
Because she looks at stuff. I mean, I could help her. You could help her. We could both help her.
I mean, I have no problem, but I don't know how she'll feel about that. 'cause
Because she tends to be the other person who actually looks at all of
But
them.
she, I think she feels uncomfortable being the treasurer though.
You're the best at it.
I mean, we could
Just
rotate
saying.
you back in
Yeah, I'm just saying.
because it's been 2 years since you've held this position.
But maybe she wants to be president. What do you,
I
where
don't
would
know.
you like to go?
I'm okay rotating back in as treasurer. If we have a president and a vice president.
I mean, I think, why don't we have, what is Becky now?
She's VP?
She's VP.
So have
So-
Becky step in.
So
and-
have her be,
president.
or have, either that or Jerry could become
Well, I
president.
think Jerry's just done it so many times that I
Like
think
doing
I
it?
would rather see Becky step in and have Jerry do vice president and then take it
I
to
don't think
Holland.
Becky liked you last time. She was
Well,
president.
again, like you said, she's not here to defend herself, so let's put her off till next month. or next meeting, whatever.
So I'm okay with whatever. I can be a large member, member at large, and
I just,
VP
the only
or-
reason I say that is that for a very large percentage of the time that you've been on the board, we actually went way over our rotation, like, I don't know, I think
Oh,
it
has it
was
been
like
now,
5
then?
years in a row, or like 2 years.
A lot harder than that.
I've been on the board 3 years now.
Oh, so it's been
Becky did it before
5
that.
years.
5 years now?
Yeah, been 5 years.
Then I'm okay. You do an excellent job, Mr. President.
I'll take it if nobody else wants it.
okay. So we could just discuss it next board meeting, decide when Becky's here next week, and
And she's done vice president for 2 years?
Yes.
she's done VP for 2 years, yes, because we didn't rotate any positions
So you
last
can
year.
do VP though.
I can be, yeah, it doesn't matter, yeah.
Okay. Okay, so yeah,
Like 2
I'm,
years have gone by already.
yeah,
Be presidential.
I'm willing to take treasurer again if that's what you guys want.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so we basically have an idea, so we should do the formal thing next month.
So we just need to have that on the agenda for next,
For
Are we-
December.
well, for
For two-
December.
For the December
For-
regular
re-
meeting.
Yeah, December regular
Yeah.
meeting.
Because then we have to do a new resolution, don't we?
Yes, we have to do new resolution, we have to sign new cards, we have to do all that stuff all over again. Joy, oh joy. Yes.
Okay.
701, no, not 700 forms, all right?
No.
Everything. Yeah, we have to
Oh.
do 700 forms anyway because we have to do them at the end of
New
the
year.
year
They're,
every year
yeah, they're
anyway.
due in January, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yep.
We're good at doing them now, though.
Mine's easy, I don't have anything.
Okay, so
Tiffany's wonderful. She hands you your last
15?
year's, so you just copy it. Okay. 15. Discussion and vote on amending the district's late fee policy.
It's for Tiffany.
Oh, okay.
Did anyone look at the late fee revision in the email?
Yeah, this thing,
I'm
Going-
not sure what.
the only part being changed is the red part,
Yeah.
and that's because there's a lot of, disputing and discrepancy in that, not being defined or spelled out that well.
Something that the state has said, or
No.
No, this is our
legal
policy.
counsel?
Oh, this is our policy, and
Yeah.
it's just to make the whole thing clearer
Yeah,
and more defined on when the late fee is applied.
I think that's fine, because if the 20th falls on Saturday or Sunday or Friday when we're closed,
Yeah,
then it would be Monday.
and that also helps with all the mail that comes in and all that stuff to be processed.
Lisa?
I move that we amend the district policy regarding a late charge for delinquent accounts as written on the amendment that was provided for us.
Draft. Revision.
November 14th, 2019 revision.
Yes.
I second
November
that
14th.
motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Motion carried, 401. Okay. Review and approve meeting minutes of 10/10/19 and 10/24/19. Lisa's the one who's the stickler for,
And I didn't have time to read them. Did anyone else read them? Because usually it's me and Becky,
No.
and Becky's not here. Okay, I'm gonna rather than try to read them all right now, I'm gonna move that we pass these at the next meeting, not at our regular meeting, but just quickly and do our homework. I promise I will look at them. So at the next meeting next week, when hopefully Director Gibson is also here.
Good plan, we bet money that Becky read them already.
I
too.
second that motion.
okay, so we're tabling these till next meeting.
Yep.
All those in favor?
All those in, oh, I need a second.
I did.
Seconded.
I just
Okay, all in
seconded.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, 401. Okay, any future agenda items?
We covered those already.
I need another signature on all these high dollar amount checks,
Besides, I haven't signed
Jerry.
them yet.
Sure.
or,
And we pass notes on.
yeah, if you can do these,
Have them sign them and then give them to me.
3.
Okay.
May I say something before the meeting?
Oh, actually, if he could do this one also.
Oh,
Yes, he's,
Yes, yes,
yes.
sir.
Linda?
I'm Dave Gilman, I live on 3529 San Fernando Trail. In early October, there was a burst in the water pipe. Washed a lot of gravel down on Cave Street. A sign was put up, gravel on the road. Then about 4 days later, the sign was taken off. When can we expect that gravel to be removed?
Well, we did have a leak up on the hillside above it, but the water also naturally runs down there anytime we have a rain as well, so, and we don't own a street sweeper, so, typically, it just goes away on its own.
No.
I have not been up there, so I have
Well,
not
why don't you
visually
go up
seen
there and
it.
just check it out, because
Yeah.
I slipped on it, almost fell
Yeah, I'll check it out.
on the gravel, yeah. It's caused by the water company, I think the water company has a responsibility.
The reason why we don't, call up street sweepers up here is because it costs a minimum of $1,000.
Well,
To get a
there's
street
shovels.
Huh?
There's shovels.
I'll check it out for you, no problem.
Okay, great. Another issue I have is
where is that? I'm sorry, that's on San,
It's up by,
San Fernando Trail.
San Fernando. Okay.
Another issue I have is a water leak on the street side, and I've been reporting it for a year and a half, and nothing has been done. The last time I came in the office, the guy said, well, I'll go up there, but you gotta clean all the apples out of the way so I can lay down. And this is going on for a year and a half. I don't see why.
so what's the address of that?
3529. And the little indicator, in the meter, they have a little indicator that spins around. Every time the water flows through the meter, that thing spins around.
Right, so what that tells me is that when that's spinning, it's on your side of the meter, which we're not
Yeah.
responsible for, so.
Yeah, you're right.
So you
you're
have
right.
to fix it if it's spinning.
So let me finish, please. So when the meter is not spinning and the water's still leaking,
They'd be on our
It's on
side.
our
okay,
side.
this is
yeah.
what I want to ascertain. When can I expect that to be looked at?
Again, I'm gonna go check, we'll check it out next week, I'll check it out on Monday, we're off until Monday.
Monday, okay.
So I'll go up there and check it out then.
Well, please, first, if you can
No
knock it
problem.
out, I can visit with,
Can-
visit with you.
Can you go ahead and add that to the agenda just so we make sure that that's resolved?
My word ain't good enough that I'm gonna
Yeah,
go
no,
handle
your
it.
word's good enough, I just wanna make sure it's resolved.
Yeah.
You know, it's just such a simple request, and I don't see the issue, the problem with it, but whatever.
Well,
I'm
it's
gonna
been
go
a year
check
and
it
a
out,
half.
I have not
I've been
ever,
asking for a year and a half.
I have not ever been asked to go check them out, so I'm just saying I will personally handle it.
That's why, that's why.
So I'm saying I will personally
Okay,
handle it.
then we don't
But
need
just-
to.
I'm good with it. You just don't need a bunch more agenda items, is the only reason I'm trying to avoid it.
Yeah, just
I
report
just-
it to
I
us.
just
I
don't
will
know
report
who
it on my
he's-
manager's report.
Yeah, thank you.
For sure. Okay.
Because it's the first I've heard of it, not a year and a half
Why
worth.
don't you just take his number?
I
and
got,
call?
again, I'm a manager, it's a simple problem, I will handle
We
it.
have his.
I will handle
we
this,
definitely
it's
have
not,
his
this is
number,
the
too.
smallest problem I've had to deal with in 10 years. So, it's easy. I got it. He wants to meet me there, is what he said. So he's gonna be standing there with me when I do it, so I don't need to get his phone number to call him on top of it.
We
but-
have his phone
Just knock on
number.
his door.
200.
Oh,
Huh?
there's a,
Knock on his door.
Okay, can you
Yes,
sign
sir.
these for
Yes.
Linda?
Are you guys supposed to now, right?
I'll get him.
Yes.
Give me a second.
I'd just like to say one thing, I wanna thank you all.
Yeah.
I sit there and I listen to your work at Banks, and you're looking at things for our benefit, for our community. I think it's pretty awesome, and I enjoyed hearing the things you said and how you work together. And
Thank
we
you.
don't always agree, I think that becomes apparent. We don't always agree, I think that
Yes,
becomes
I
apparent.
think I noticed that.
No yes people on this
Yeah.
board, which is a good thing.
And then we got the one guy that's gonna be a big guy.
A large member.
The
we call
large
him.
guy.
No, I'm just saying honestly, I wanna
Thank
do
you.
it.
That's
It's
very
appreciated
nice.
what you do for
Thank
us.
you, David.
We don't get a lot
Can
of
you give that
thank
to
yous,
Linda?
so thank you.
All right.
Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I hear I make a motion that we adjourn.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
I.
Aye.
All right, thank you,
401,
everybody.
motion carries. 8:24.
I can open the door for
Had
you
the
though.
door open just.
Thank you, and all have a good night.
Thank you.
Wait, why do I have Rebecca's check?
I would give it to Johnny.
Sunday, come
Oh.
back to you.
I mean,